the human fleet departed the planet silently, its sleek, shadowy ships cutting through the void like predators returning to their hunting grounds. Captain Elias Soto Saturday in the command chair of his flagship, the Revenant, his eyes fixed on the holographic map of the galaxy before him. The recovery mission had been successful. Humanity's ancient technologies had been secured, but now came the hard part, reclaiming the galaxy that had forgotten them. "We've sent the message," Lieutenant Carol Ward said, standing beside Elias. "The Galactic Alliance knows we're back." Elias nodded, the faint trace of a smile forming on his lips. "Good, let them spread the word, let them prepare." The Galactic Alliance, bloated with complacency, had ruled unchallenged for centuries. Its many member species believed themselves safe from any external threat, but the discovery of the human ruins would change everything. Already, rumors were spreading like wildfire, talk of humans returning, not as the timid explorers of old, but as warriors armed with ancient, advanced technology. Fear would soon ripple through the corridors of power, and humanity's forgotten legacy would no longer be ignored. "Captain," a voice came from the comms, "we've picked up chatter from nearby systems. The Alliance is mobilizing fleets toward the outer rim. They're not taking any chances." "Let them come," Elias said, standing up and walking toward the viewing window. "We're ready." He knew what was coming. The Alliance wouldn't let humanity rise again without a fight, but that was exactly what humanity had been preparing for. Hidden away in the forgotten corners of the galaxy, their numbers may have been small, but their strength lay in their technology, their strategic cunning, and their determination to survive. "We'll need to move fast," Kara said, stepping up beside him. "They'll try to block us from reaching other human outposts before we can unite. They'll want to cut us off before we can grow too strong." Elias' gaze was unyielding as he watched the stars outside the window. "Then we strike first." Across the galaxy, the Galactic Alliance was indeed mobilizing. In the grand halls of the Citadel, where representatives from countless species gathered to maintain order and peace, chaos reigned. The news of the human resurgence had sent shockwaves through the political elite. For too long, humanity had been little more than a bedtime story for the younger generations, a warning that even the most ambitious species could fall. "They must be stopped," barked Chancellor Droll of the Zarnak, his elongated form bristling with agitation. His species had long been known for its aggressive expansion. An idea of a new threat emerging in their backyard was intolerable. Other representatives murmured their agreement. The resurgence of humans was not just a threat to the Zarmak but to the entire balance of power. If humanity truly had regained their ancient technology, they could become unstoppable. "What evidence do we have that these humans possess such technology?" asked Relan, a diplomat from the Tashari, a peaceful, trade-driven species. "Are we acting on rumors alone?" Droll slammed a fist on the table, silencing the room. "Rumors? There are dead fleets in the outer rim, entire outposts wiped out. The only explanation is human intervention. We cannot ignore this." The room fell into tense silence. They all knew the truth whether they wanted to admit it or not. Humanity's return had thrown the galaxy into uncertainty, and fear was beginning to fester. The humans had disappeared once, but they had not been destroyed. Now, they were back, and they were no longer the underdogs they had once been. "We need to send a fleet," Droll continued, "a show of force. We cannot allow them to grow unchecked." The Chancellor of the Galactic Alliance, a calm and calculating Tari named Zethris, finally spoke, her voice cutting through the noise. "We will send our finest fleet to intercept them," she declared, her four eyes narrowing. "We will ensure that humanity's legend remains just that, a legend." Back aboard the Revenant, Elias stood at the center of the war room, surrounded by his officers. The holographic table displayed the surrounding star systems, with Alliance fleet movements highlighted in red. They were moving faster than anticipated. "They'll intercept us here." Kara pointed to a system at the edge of Alliance space. "If we're going to make it to the other human outposts, we'll need to punch through their blockade." Elias studied the display, his mind racing through possibilities. They couldn't afford a full-scale battle just yet. Humanity's numbers were still too small, and every loss would be a setback. They needed to outthink the Alliance, not just outfight them. "We can face them head-on," Elias said finally. "We'll use the ancient tech we recovered, something they won't expect." The officers exchanged glances. The technology they had retrieved from the ruins was powerful, but much of it was still being understood. They were dealing with weapons and systems far beyond anything currently in use, but that was exactly what Elias intended to use to their advantage. "There's a gravitational anomaly in this sector," Kara said, pointing to a nearby region of space. "It's unstable, unpredictable. No sane fleet would risk going through it." Elias grinned. "Perfect. That's exactly where we'll go." The Alliance fleet, led by Admiral Tavor, a grizzled veteran of countless wars, approached the system with caution. The gravitational anomaly was a well-known hazard, and the Admiral had instructed his ships to give it a wide berth. His orders were simple: intercept the human fleet, neutralize them, and bring an end to this growing threat. But as they entered the system, something unexpected happened. The space around them began to ripple, as if reality itself were bending. Ships shook violently, alarms blaring across the fleet. "What's happening?" Tavor shouted over the chaos. From the center of the gravitational anomaly, something emerged. It was the human fleet, led by the Revenant. But it wasn't the fleet itself that caused panic, it was the way they moved. The ancient human technology allowed them to manipulate gravity itself, using the anomaly as cover, bending the very fabric of space to their will. The Alliance fleet was caught off guard. Their ships, designed for traditional combat, were no match for the unpredictable, warping space the humans used to their advantage. One by one, Alliance vessels were torn apart, their systems overloaded by the strange gravitational forces. Admiral Tavor could only watch in disbelief as his fleet was decimated. The humans were no longer the legend he had been taught to dismiss. They were real, and they were more powerful than anyone had imagined. "Retreat," Tavor ordered, but it was too late. The human fleet, using their newfound technology, closed in for the kill. Elias stood on the bridge of the Revenant, watching as the Alliance fleet crumbled before them. It was a decisive victory, one that would send a message across the galaxy: humanity had returned, and they were not to be trifled with. But this was only the beginning. The road ahead was long, and the galaxy would not give up its control easily. Elias knew there would be more battles, more enemies, and greater challenges ahead, but humanity had spent centuries preparing for this moment. As the remnants of the Alliance fleet fled into the darkness, Elias turned to his crew. "Set course for the next outpost," he said, his voice filled with quiet determination. "We have a galaxy to reclaim." The stars stretched out before them, vast and full of possibilities, and for the first time in millennia, humanity was ready to claim its place among them. The legend of humans was no longer lost. It had only just begun.